Hey, welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel, I like to go deep. So I don't just look at what goes on the surface, like what your person did do, what they're going to do. I look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play those karmic themes along with everything else. All right. So, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you find in the description box. So if you're connected to a Virgo, check out my Virgo channel. Check out my Gemini channel. That's a baby channel. It's brand new. Or if you're connected to any other zodiac, you can check out my all zodiac page, Psychic Soul Healer. All links are in the description box. I'm really excited. I have a new Oracle system coming out. It's going to be really exciting. It's really pretty. It's a healing Oracle deck. So it comes with a downloadable workbook, and it also comes with a physical, tangible workbook, and it has over 100 different exercises in there, and it also has oracle spreads in there. I'm really excited about it. I thought that it was coming today. I have a feeling that it's not. The person said that it was supposed to come by the end of July. We are at the end of July. I don't see my deck, but it's coming. I just wanted to tell you all about it because I'm really excited about this project that I did. And this product, I would say, I mean, you could call it a product because it's something that can help you stay on track, help you be consistent. That's the biggest problem, right? For people that have trauma, we have a problem being consistent. We have a problem showing up for ourselves when we have a root chakra imbalance. So we need things to be really easy in order to be consistent, especially when it comes to shit that we don't like to do. It's just the way that it goes. So if you're someone that's in need of shadow healing, you can soon have your own oracle system to help you at home. And I also have a shadow healing coaching program where we do inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and we always do this by starting off talking about the trigger of the week. Everyone has triggers, and your triggers are really the gateway to healing because your triggers are your emotions. So understanding why you feel what you feel allows you to go deep, to figure out what is actually creating the blockage. And then you're able to then see the habits and the behaviorisms and how you're contributing to the imbalances within your relationships. And that allows you to shape shift your reality once you have this new awareness. So you want to be able to do this for yourself. You want to be able to stay emotionally clean. And the reason why is because every day you're getting bombarded by what the environment tells you, and you don't realize that it's who you're around, what you're seeing, what you're taking in, that is conditioning you constantly. So in order to stay spiritually clean, you always have to do some internal work. And that's not always the easiest thing to do, especially if we've gone through a breakup, we've lost somebody, it's a transition in life. These transitions are absolutely horrific if you're someone that needs a lot of healing, right? You're going to have a hard time because you're basing your life on what happened and what could happen, but not what actually is happening in the present moment. And that's because, again, it's a part of our survival when we've gone through experiences that are imbalanced. So these type of readings that I do on this channel can help you stay spiritually clean by having a new awareness, because understand it's not so much what happens to you, it's how you respond to what happens to you. That's why there's many different realities that play out at one time. So you understanding how you are contributing to the undesirable life experiences within the connection and why you're attracting the situation into your life in the first place allows you to actually have new awareness so you can quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience. And that is very empowering. It puts the power back in you to you, which is hugely important because, again, when we've gone through experiences that challenge us, that we perceive were made us feel victimized, well, then we feel weak. Those situations are draining. We feel like we don't have power. So it's all about giving yourself the power, allowing yourself to heal so you can create the life and the life experiences that you want to have. That's why I love to do these type readings. But I do go into what your person did do, what they're going to do, because hey, everybody wants to know that stuff. We want to know, but a lot of times we're like, why the fuck are they doing what they're doing? That doesn't make sense. Why? So again, when you understand why, you're able to say, you know what, that doesn't belong to me. That belongs to you. Here you go, put it back on you. And that's important when you are connected to a soulmate, to a twin flame. As you can see, we're in the Atlantis background here. So there's a fantasy element to your connection. I feel like your person feels that. That's why it was called to put up that background today. So there's going to be a little bit of, a lot of spiritual energy. And that normally happens when a person has a lot of spiritual blocks, when people have a lot of spiritual blocks, because the divine has to get involved. So a lot resides on divine timing. Okay, so if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. That's important when we're dealing with people that wear masks, because they create illusions, personas, and a lot of times that persona, the illusion, you're feeling like it's not authentic, because we could always feel when things are real, especially when you're connected to a soulmate. There's an internal knowing. There's that's the paradox of those relationships. You feel unconditional love. There is a knowing, but then the person has a lot of spiritual blocks that trigger us. Okay, the word is selfishness. Well, obviously, you're in connection with somebody that's very selfish, and they've always been selfish. I feel like no one's ever made this person think the way that you do, work for it the way that you do. This person is not emotionally intelligent. It terrifies them to actually have to feel. They don't want to feel. They want to live very indulgently, here for a good time, not a long time. It's all about them. So what you'll notice is this person never shows up for you emotionally, is what I notice. And in that, it's almost like they act as if this person gets triggered too by your power. They see you as someone strong. They see you as someone confident. They see you as someone that has a good catch. This person doesn't feel strong within themselves, which is why they're always feeding themselves and living more from an addictive standpoint. Now, they will create the persona that they are a player, but it's really that this person feels inadequate. And they feel inadequate because relationships never work out for this person. I feel like they, believe it or not, are an empath that never learned how to master their emotions. So they've actually learned to detach from their emotions. And they've done this by living very indulgently, right? You can suppress your emotions. You drink too much, you smoke too much, you fuck too much. All that is escapism. This person doesn't like the feeling of being in love. They feel powerless, and it creates a lot of anxiety for them. They'd rather act like they don't care. So with that type of energy, you're not going to to get a lot from this person. Just we know that, but you might say, well, then why are they coming into my life? This person wants to live indulgently. It's not like they don't have passion for you. It's not like they don't find you attractive, but you're here for their need in their mind. It's again here for a good time, not a long time. I'll take you out to dinner. We'll have a nice night, but as far as commitment, no way, no how. That's not what I want. I don't want to be tied down. So I feel like they have a lot of wounds around feeling, because when they were growing up, they were told that their emotions made them weak. They were told to be someone else. And if every time you cry, or every time you try and express yourself, and every time you try and say something, your words are twisted, you're being suppressed and oppressed. Someone's keeping your energy down, and that's from abusive, narcissistic parents. So I feel like your person grew up in an environment where no one really raised them. They have had an abusive father and a mother that didn't do anything. They have major mommy issues because mommy didn't show up for them. So in every relationship, they don't really look at people as people. They look at them as, again, what you can do for me, because they have a wound in the mother and father, not just the one, but they have severe mommy issues because mommy was seen as watching and not saving, where really mommy couldn't save themselves. But there was a major trust issue that was created from that dynamic. Ironically, I feel like you grew up in an environment where your dad didn't do anything, where your mom might have watched. Now, you can switch it or twist it, interpret the message as it best resonates. Nevertheless, I can see that there's a parallel there. So this person approaches life like they're spoiled, because I feel like mommy made up for that with this person by spoiling them, by never reprimanding them, by looking the other way on their bad behavior, kind of like giving them a pass, where I feel like that was not how you grew up. You grew up where any little thing that was done, there was consequences. So we can see already that you would have formed spiritual blocks where this person has gifts and vice versa. But it's the same wounds that you both have. So again, that keep you both in a place of insecurity, because you have to say, why did you pull this person into your life? Now, I don't know why the reading's going this way, because like you said, I've never done a reading like this, but spirit finds that this is very important. And it's very important because you have inner child wounds that make you attract people like this into your life. And there's a part of you that wants to break the karmic cycle more than find out whether or not you're going to get back together with this person. Because what we see here is a person that anybody that's selfish is looking to be service. They're not looking to be of service. So they're very selfish. So what can you do for me? And that's, again, insecure energy. They look for the cream of the crop. They look for someone that they perceive has a lot of good qualities, but doesn't know their own worth. And where this person creates a lot of trouble in everyone's life, not just their own. And it's because they're selfish. So I feel like this person runs around with other people. I feel like they have substance abuse, so they forget. I feel like this person lives way beyond their means. Again, they create the persona that they have all this money, but really, this person is not stable. This person is not stable, and they're a troublemaker because they create destruction everywhere where they go. And it's because they're very draining. They can't maintain their own life, and they come into somebody else's life and expect that person to fix them. to mend them. And it's very, very draining. It's very draining because this person is toxic on top of it. And then what happens is that they'll act unaware. But here it is, it's like, I feel like certain things about this person, but you still have a spiritual connection to them. See, it's like you're acting like you're unaware of this person's red flags, and this person acts like they're unaware of what they do. They know what they do. They know what they do. They live by their ego. And they usually can get people that don't have a very high self-esteem to give to them because they come in broken. They come in, it's a ploy. It's not that their life isn't broken, but this is not their first rodeo of creating that experience. This person, it lives by their addictions. They have a lot of severe root chakra imbalances because they couldn't trust the mother or the father. They inherited ancestral karma. Ancestral karma is passed down, and remember, people have gone through wars, they've gone through being victimized, they've gone through everything underneath the sun that has kept them in a place of low frequency. Back in the day, we were ignorant. We were ignorant people. We didn't know. Celebrating people that we really shouldn't celebrate, stereotyping people. We moved away from unconditional love, where really, again, that's what we're down here to learn. And so, like I said, this person has severe root chakra imbalances. They never had the support to actually grow themselves, to find themselves, to heal themselves, never knew. And I feel like they're attracted to your light. But the problem is that they look at relationships as, again, what you can do for me. Oh, they give off the impression that they're perfect, but it's all a facade. This person, like I said, lives beyond their means. They show you what they want to show you, but it's not really real. And they're always the victim. But meanwhile, like, that's not the experience that you had with this person was triggering. It's like, you, first of all, there's a connection, you had expectations, and you were always disappointed. And I feel like the expectations were not, oh, you're going to take me away to like a fancy island or buy me everything. It was, you're going to show up for me during this time for sure. And whatever it was, it could have been your birthday, it could have been a death of someone, it could have been anything. And it's like you just thought that you had a better connection with this person, and this person, every chance that they got, showed you that they didn't. They showed you that they were selfish, that they weren't even thinking about you, though they would say that they care. And so you had expectations of, if a person really has feelings, that they're going to treat you the way that you treat them, and that they're obviously going to show up during difficult times in your life. This person did not. And instead, they ignored you, they stonewalled you. And the reason why was because, again, you were going to hold them accountable. You were going to hold them accountable for how they treated you. And instead of actually being there for you during a really difficult time, what they did was they just ghosted you, punished you. That's what stonewalling is. It's, again, because they didn't want to be pointed out that they're the bad guy. And that you just feel like all they do is they have a lot of trauma, right? So sick people hurt people, sick people make other people sick. And it's like, because this person, instead of coming to you and treating you like a human being, and like they play a lot of games. It's like, I'm gonna hold back, I'm gonna hold back, I'm gonna hold back, I'm not gonna give to you, I'm gonna punish you when you have something to say that I don't like. And I feel like you didn't like the fact that they were selfish. You didn't like the fact that they never showed up for you. It didn't matter what was going on in your life. It could be a birthday, it could be a holiday, it could be anything of any importance. This person would show no emotion. And it was their way of not connecting emotionally to you, knowing that that's what you wanted, knowing that that's what they should do. But they didn't want to do that because of their trauma. Like, they have a lot of shame, and their shame is like, I'm bad. And that's from the programming of their childhood, from daddy. And then mommy just looked the other way. So you're supposed to fix it. You're supposed to fix it like mommy did. Mommy never reprimanded me. Mommy always made everything right. Mommy's always, but you hate mommy down deep inside because mommy wasn't there. And it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy, you have mommy issues because that person wasn't there. That person was supposed to protect you. That person didn't protect you. So again, you make people pay for it. You say, well, I'm only going to care about myself. I'm going to cut my feelings off. I'm going to cut my emotions off. And if you, again, try to make me accountable, I'm going to stonewall you. I'm going to act like you don't matter. And I'm going to prove that point to you by not showing up when it's important to you. When I know goddamn well I really should show up for you. I'm going to purposely go out of my way to do it. And that's what you felt. Again, where this person just, I feel like the assumptions, right? Assumptions that this person kind of feels like you don't need to have anyone because they see you as strong. And the problem is because they're so wounded, they actually think that you're like up on a high horse, that you put yourself up on a high horse, and that triggers this person where you're not, again, on a high horse, you're just on a higher vibration, and you're not going to go down to this person's vibration. And that's what they don't like. So it's like, you're not going to go down to my vibration. Okay, well, I'm going to not be around for a few weeks and give my attention to other places. When I come back, I'm sure you'll talk to me because, hey, you have such strong feelings for me. It's like, and I feel like you did make the mistake of every time they came back, you thought that they were different. You thought, well, if they're coming back, they must have feelings. No, they were coming back to put their foot in the door. And that's what you learned. You were like, oh, you don't really want to be with me. You just don't want me to go anywhere. You just want to keep me on the hook. Again, because it's all about your selfish ways. It's all about what you want and not about what I want at all. So let's go deeper. Like, what is the whole fucking point? It's like of it, except for your selfish ass wanting, like, wanting what you want. What is the point? What does this person really feel? Is there something? Is there any spiritual anything? I've heard you, and I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me someday and understand I was reacting from fear. So it's, again, they have feelings, but they have trauma that they need to heal. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. It's that until they heal that trauma, it's going to continue to affect this person's relationships. Or they could stay the same and be on a low vibration and go for lower hanging fruit, being here for a good time, but not a long time. But I personally feel like that lifestyle is going to shorten this person's life because, again, they're living mainly from their addictions. They're never really, there's no purpose to life. And when there's no purpose for life and you're living from your addictions, just using people, and you're drinking and you're smoking and you're doing everything to suppress your emotions, this person has a blocked heart chakra. I'm feeling like they're going to get sick because they're like, I don't feel like they're like, yeah, I have trauma and I just can't be in a relationship like that. But that's not an apology. It's not let me fix it. It's not let me fix myself. It's more like, I understand you don't want to talk to me because, you know, I've hurt you, but I don't know what to do about that. I still live in fear. So let me take some time out. Let me meditate on what I should do. Let me keep it in limbo because I don't really want you to leave me either. I would like to keep it in limbo and have you still energetically attached to me. Again, limbo. You see, I'm going to keep it like suspended. I'm not going to really do anything. Just going to keep it in limbo. I am going to do a lot of self-reflection to see what I want, but I'm not really sure what I want. And I don't really want you to turn me down and tell me that I don't really even have an option anymore, which, because you're like, okay, you don't even have, I'm not your option and I'm not just going to be available. So what you see here is a little bit of delusion. And that happens when you're in a connection with somebody that you overgave to, and now they're not paying attention to their behaviorisms, what they've done. They want to keep it in this place of, well, you still have these strong feelings for me. And as long as I don't go back to you and where you tell me that it's not true, I can stay suspended in this. I can stay energetically connected to you. Which again, now we know that this person really has severe root chakra imbalances because they would rather stay in the fantasy land. Because why do you want to stay energetically connected to someone that you're not going to give anything to? That means that you're not putting time somewhere else. You're an energetic being. Your time, your energy, your focus, your money, all that is your energy. And if you're focused on something that's not gonna do anything, you're just fucking wasting your time. So I feel like this person is delusional. They live in fantasy land a little bit. And that is what happens when people have severe root chakra imbalances from childhood that they've never healed. They create an ego, and that ego is a bunch of different masks to create personas, and they never can really form a deep emotional connection. Now, they were, again, taught this in childhood. I feel like this person was sensitive. They were someone that was intuitive, but they were taught not to be. They were taught that that was bad. They were taught to, again, they could have thought that's witchcraft, intuitive, or don't talk about your feelings. Don't talk about what you feel. It's like, be a man, be a woman, be this way. Again, their environment made them perceive that it wasn't safe to tap into their emotions, and the little bit of experiences that they've had where they have tapped into their emotions, they didn't get good results. And possibly because they felt empathy towards their parents. I mean, usually we do when we're young children, and it was seen as not enough, not good enough, not, instead of it being appreciated, it was taken for granted and then expected. And so this person just is like, I'm not going to give anyone nothing. And then the few times that they got in relationships, the relationships never worked out because they gave nothing. And so again, that was the other person's fault. So there's just seems to be like this person saying, I do have feelings for you, but I know you're not going to be with me after everything that I did. And I just can't hear that. I can't hear it. It's like, because my life is not what it seems. It's like, it's like a hallucination, right? It's like this person just has been programmed, and it's like their life is a big mirage. It's like, I can't really even be in your life because you wouldn't like who I am. So I treated you phony too, because I do have feelings, but I can't let you get close because I can't feel. I don't want to be put in that position. where I'm phony. So it's easier for me to live in the mirage, to stay in fantasy land, to have you stay confused of what it is, because then energetically you'll still stay connected to me. So you need to say, okay, Spirit, why would I attract a person that wants to energetically stay connected to me, but doesn't want to be with me? And that's, again, severe trauma, Spirit would say. And you'd say, well, again, why did I connect to them? And Spirit might say, well, like goes to like. You may want a relationship, but also not want a relationship due to a past relationship that created a lot of trauma feeling. Outdoors in nature, number one, that's actually a gift. Self-love, that's number two. Belittled is number three. These are the inner child wound cards. Unworthy is four. Neglect is five. So I feel like you were neglected in childhood, made to feel unworthy, and you too were belittled. So again, you have the same childhood. Now that belittled could just be, how'd you do on your math test? You didn't do well on your math test. Why didn't you do well? Mary Jane did well on their math test. Bobby did well on his math test. Why aren't you? It's like only smart people do. There's punishment when a child's made to feel as if they're unworthy. And we see that here. I'm unworthy. And I'm unworthy because of the way that my parent speaks to me when they're always angry. And so they're taking their problems out on me. They're projecting. It's almost like when a person has a bad day at work and they come home and they kick the dog. That's they're projecting. So it's almost like you grew up in an environment where the person was imbalanced, they were angry, and angry because of their financial problems, due to their imbalances within their relationships, of feeling inadequate themselves, of feeling unworthy themselves, due to, again, the dynamic of their relationship. So you inherited that trauma of watching it, and then you attracted that because you, again, inherited that trauma of feeling not good enough, not worthy. And so, because again, you were neglected. So the healing is all about self-love, giving yourself self-love. This person, it couldn't show up for you. So you needed to learn that more. And that means giving yourself more than this person. This person wanted you to fix their life. They wanted you to be there for them. But again, that's draining. That's somebody that's not equal give and take reciprocity. They're not going to pour back into you. And being with someone like that is actually very toxic, like I said. So I feel like outdoors and nature is actually a gift. And it is, because when we're outdoors, we're able to really tap in to our own intuition. Outdoors, nature is, we see sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is one of the languages of God. When we are in nature and we tap into our intuition more. So I feel like your intuition has always been sharp. You've always been someone that has been able to be grounded, where you can see whether someone's treating you well or not, possibly because you're hypersensitive due to the environment that you grew up in. But I feel like you had already healed the feelings of unworthiness. This person, again, making stonewalling you is a way of making you feel unworthy. Even belittled, because they're not talking about what they do. They're not allowing you to have your feelings because they can't process their own feelings. And that would be, again, your feelings would be too much for this person, even though they're not a lot and you don't ask for a lot. It would seem like a lot because they're not used to it. So they would always try to manipulate the situation back to the way that they want it, right? And the way that they would do it is to, belittle you, maybe not outright, but little passive aggressive things that they would do to make you again feel like insignificant, again unworthy, because this is what this energy is. We get these two feelings of belittled and unworthy when we're a child and we're neglected. This person neglected you. It's like emotionally, I don't want to give anything. I'm not going to show up ever, whenever. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It's all about me. And what you said is, I can't be with somebody that treats me this way. Otherwise, I'm not loving myself. I'm not honoring myself. So I'm going to give myself the love and tap into my own intuition and allow myself to just be led by my intuition. And my intuition is saying like this isn't I don't want to be in this relationship. I want a relationship that brings me back to God, that brings me back to unconditional love, the energy of the universe that puts me at peace. So I feel like you've always been able to balance yourself, ground yourself, as I said, because you grew up in that type of environment. So it wasn't your first rodeo, but it was almost like spirit saying, you're getting the same type of energy, just in a different form. You have to reparent yourself. And I feel like the reparenting yourself again was the self-love, giving yourself that love to make yourself feel worthy, and that's by doing things for yourself, by nurturing yourself. And that's why this person, like I said, like finally sees that you've detached, but they'd rather just stay in fantasy land, like, well, I could still get it back. Even though they can't, they know down deep inside that they can't. Because this says that I know I've hurt you. I was reacting from a place of fear, but I'm still not going to approach you like I hurt you, but you could possibly might want to hear from me or take me back or give me another chance, but I'm not going to ask because you'll probably reject me and then I'll like it'll burst my ego, so I'm not going to do that. So what spirit says is, remember this: choice. Everything's a choice, and you need to choose serenity, light, and positive energy no matter what you go through. Choose happiness, rise above the fear, and direct your thoughts to God. So again, it was a choice to be with this person, and you saw, I feel like you broke the karmic cycle. It's something that you had already learned and mastered, is what I feel. It's just you never transmuted the energy. And that's when you go through the same type of experience, karmic experience, and just handle it differently. So you can see yourself differently, so that the karma actually gets put back in this person's laps. And it does, because they have regret. They feel bad. They didn't expect things to play out this way. You did definitely put a nick in their ego, because this person normally doesn't care. But it's like I said, they 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 kind of justify it because of what they've gone through. And that's what I'm saying. It's like this person chooses to stay stuck. And it's a good thing that you choose not to stay stuck. I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.